What's up, friends? Welcome back to another sit-down topic. We haven't done a relationship little chatty chat in a while, so we thought for all our single friends and all our friends who are dating, maybe engaged, ready to be married, ready to be booed up. We are 5 years into marriage.
Looking to get squeezed.
Squeezed?
Squeezed.
I don't want to be squeezed.
Main squeezed.
Oh, main squeeze.
Main squeezed.
You can squeeze a man. We were like, you know what? We need to talk about the hot topics.
Sizzle. Get ready for the sizzle.
We
Get ready for the
talked
sizzle.
about hot topics that we think you should talk about with your person before
you think you make that jump into these marriage waters. And these are things you need to know.
You need to know it, Bo. And questions you may want to ask yourself. Like, it's time to get real.
Yeah,
it's time to get real.
Because if you're going to spend your life with this person, I think you should ask some questions up front. You need to get some info that you may not have gotten yet.
Not on the first date. Okay?
Disclaimer.
Calm
Give them
down.
a disclaimer.
Like,
if you pull up the someone on the first date asking these kind of questions,
they're going to run.
No, they run it.
They run it. I don't care how intentional and spiritual you think you are.
Fine, you look like, you ain't worth it.
Just enjoy your time together and have fun. Like, people need to
run like Joseph.
Oh, Joseph. Okay. I think he was running for a different reason, not because a woman went deep with him.
Oh, no. Same result.
Well, let's just go right into it. Being spiritually aligned, yoked with your person right from the beginning is just like a no-brainer. For me, dating, that was literally a no-brainer. I was like, you cannot just be a church goer on Easter Sunday. Like, I need to know you are purposely walking.
Club goer on Saturday morning.
I did live that life for a little
I did too.
But I wasn't ready to get married then either.
Yeah,
so.
equally yoked spiritually on the same level kind of thing. It helps to avoid clashes. Because if you want to go one way and the other person wants to go the other way, somebody's going to end up going an opposite direction of where they want to go. Either you want someone that's going with you and headed with you and pulling you out, you guys are helping to pull each other forward in the same direction. Like, you could do more. I guess you can go further and you can do more with a lot less hardship with someone that's on the same spiritual wavelength.
I tried many of times to date the non-believer, and you may not even be a Christian, and just whatever you believe is important to you. Like, if you have two people believing different things, there's a slim chance, yes, it could work, and like you guys keep somehow aligning towards a direction. But for the most part, it is very hard, especially if you're very passionate about having a relationship with Christ. I remember when I was like, and the other person isn't. For the longest time, my dad was not a believer. So I grew up in a household where my mom was and my dad wasn't. And I just remember that always being a thing. Like, my dad was cool with us going, but it was like,
he wasn't joining you.
Dad's not joining us.
Your upbringing was different than mine, right? I grew up in a house where both my mom and dad were spiritually on the same level. So they were both moving in the same direction, and I got to see firsthand what that did for them and how that helped them along in their relationship. And by seeing that, I wanted that too.
For me, when it was like, I can do this. He's not a believer, but I can do this. I can do this. I can get down with this. I can do this, Lord. I know you're not for it,
but it's anyways. Tough. Let's just move on. Another thing is, like, you want to talk about kids. If you want kids, do you have kids? How many kids? What kind of education you want to give them? You want to be homeschooled, not homeschooled, private school, public school? These are all questions that can cause major arguments and rifts later on if you guys don't work that out in the beginning. If you have kids, I mean, they're a blessing, but there are some people that want to get into a relationship with someone that doesn't have kids if they have kids. And then there's other people that love kids and don't mind. So it's like, I feel like if you're going to get married and you have kids and you haven't told the person that you have kids, I think that's something you should share with them, especially so you don't blindside them. And it's not even a major thing if you do or not. I'm just saying that, just like, because if you're going to live your life with someone, you should be open to sharing these things that you may not share with other people.
Well, I think that's what it is. Like when you're dating, I think you're just thinking of all the things in your life that could be like something that they're not gonna like. So you're like, I'm just gonna save that.
Yeah.
Let me just save that.
Because you don't want to rock the boat too much.
Hey, on our second day, I asked Fedrick. I said, "You got kids now?"
You did. Now she almost
Don't take my advice.
I almost ran from her like
He
Joseph.
literally was like, I don't know, but like I had been around a lot of guys who did.
Yeah. So you just wanted to know.
I just wanted to know. Like I'm just all about like being honest.
You're
and
an
open
open
at the
person.
beginning.
You're like, I just want to know.
Yeah, and as we were continuing dating, I was like, how many kids do you want though?
Yeah.
So like we're still going back and forth on that. You know, y'all need to be talking about money. Okay. Money.
Yeah.
Money. If you're dating someone, just go ahead and ask them. How are you spending that money? Are you budgeting?
Are you a
debt-free?
budgeter or a spender? Comment below who you think is the budgeter out of us two and the spender out of us two.
Yeah,
just comment below. I'm curious to see what you guys think. The finances, that's a major hot topic when it comes to relationships and marriages, because there's so much sides of the fence. Some people feel like you should keep your accounts stripped down the middle. Like I keep my account, she keep hers. Some keep some on the fence where it all should be one pot, and so there's so much different things that cause arguments, and nothing makes people more angry than money. Like you'd see some real fireworks come out.
Yeah.
When
business.
When that green get involved, so you all have them conversations.
When the dollar flow, when the dollar come down, I get mad. It's still gonna be a hot topic no matter what. As your whole marriage goes on for the rest of life, I'm sure there are gonna be many disagreements.
Yeah.
But the
budgeting is one of them.
The point is, go ahead and have those conversations when you're dating. Go ahead and find out how, especially for the ladies who've been waiting a while. God hasn't delivered that husband for you. And he's in his 30s. Go ahead. Check his bank account. No, I'm just kidding.
Y'all talk other conversations. Make sure you figure out who's going to be the budgeter, who's going to be the one who y'all agree on, who's going to be the one that's going to like spend, who's going to make sure you guys are achieving your goals financially, and that you always want to make sure that you guys are on the same page with money.
Also, who's going to make the money? I think nowadays, like, you just really have to check with the guy, like, are you okay if I'm making more money during a season? Am I okay with you making more money during a season? Like, that is, I think, a very humbling pride walk.
Yeah.
And if you're in unity in marriage, you should, and Fedrick always is reminding me, like, when I left my job 2 years ago, I was used to making this money. I've been working since I was 19 years old. And that's it. The paycheck coming to my name. So that literally that next week, 2 weeks passed and I didn't have that paycheck. I was like, I'm not contributing to the family. So it just felt so foreign, and the Lord did a great work in my heart. And it just was the best thing I needed. It would come from like, I make that money, honey. Like strong, independent woman. Nobody gonna tell me nothing.
You need no man. You need no man.
You don't need no man. And so to just kind of let Fedrick at the beginning bring in that main paycheck was very interesting. So I think even having conversations while you're dating of like, or what if Fedrick was like, hey, I really want to pursue this, or I really want to do this. Can I step back in this? Like, that's what marriage is about. But I think when we're dating, we just think it's going to stay exactly how it is when you guys met.
Yeah.
And people lose jobs. People transition. People's dreams change. You're evolving and you're growing with a person. So you have to be prepared for that. And really ask yourself before you get in marriage with this person, like, if he wants to take a change, or if he wants to do so, am I okay with that?
Yeah.
Like, can I be there emotionally and support him?
Are you getting married to this person just to please other people?
This is a question to ask yourself.
This is a question you need to ask yourself. Or are you getting married for the right reasons? Does you really love this person, not just because this is what everybody else says is the best person for you?
Yeah.
Like, you're not letting other people's opinions kind of dictate what you do, because if that's the case, you may not end up being happy with that person, because because you only did it because everybody said it was the good move or the best move. You guys are the perfect pair when really your heart, that person doesn't have your heart.
Yeah, it looks good on
Yeah.
paper. Your dad's celebrating it.
Yeah.
It's like he can really become good golfing buddies.
Yeah. You have this pit in your stomach because you feel like, are you the one that's crazy because everybody else is saying this is it?
They
But
love him.
They
like
love
he's
him,
been around forever.
And you may check off everything on paper and stuff like that, but there's just something missing, and just like in your heart, you know, and nobody else can see it. So just saying, just
and
ask yourself that
I've
question.
known many of people. I had this friend who literally was engaged for 9 years and didn't ask these kind of questions until literally like a couple months before her wedding, and starts having this like, time out. Are we just like doing this because we've always done this, or is this really the guy? Well, she ended up canceling right for a couple of weeks for her wedding, and now she's married and has a to someone who she's deeply in love with.
I'm so stuck that you said she was engaged for 9 years.
No,
I'm
she
like,
wasn't
whoa.
engaged for 9 years.
Oh.
She was dating him for 9
Oh,
years.
same concept.
Still, I mean,
She should ask these questions
she
a
should
lot
ask this
earlier,
question.
so we're
So
getting
what
to
we're
it.
doing is
Don't wait 9 years to ask
Don't
these
wait
questions.
9 years. Ask yourself, am I settling? That is in the form of, am I settling? Like, people pleasing is settling.
Yes.
When you are going in a direction that people want for your life, but you don't want for your life, that is people pleasing, just so they won't get mad. But the thing is, they won't be in your marriage. They are not going to be there in the day to day. Is he treating me well? Like, I have to really sit there and go, like, do you treat me well? Do you treat me like a queen?
But if you're not doing all that now, don't think when you get married or if you have kids, he's going to just magically start doing all this stuff that you think he's going to do in time.
Well, that's the thing. Like, yes, people change, and we hope people change for the better.
Yeah.
We hope that we're growing and we're evolving together. But here's the deal. Like, sometimes people just don't. And then men are shocked when they're in a marriage with someone and everybody's like, I told you. And it's like, I don't know. I just thought, like, if we got married, like, something would, you know, if we just had babies, I just thought he would love me more. If we're living in the same house, I just thought, like, he would see me as a wife. Believe what they show you.
The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in that pudding, y'all.
Proof is in the pudding.
They are literally, without even words, they are expressing themselves, and they are telling you.
Yeah.
And maybe they're having a hard time backing out, so they just don't know how to back out, so then they just keep treating you wrong. Before you get married, in your dating, has this person supported you, encouraged you, believe in you, is your biggest cheerleader? There is nothing more damaging to our destiny than being together with someone every day that does not support you.
They just pull you down. You just feel like you're not supported.
Yeah.
Like in your dreams, your aspirations, or anything on your heart, you might bring it forth, and that person's like, that's dumb. Why would you do that?
Or that can't
that's
happen.
crushing you on the
What are you
inside,
talking
though.
about?
And not to crush you on the inside and just make you feel like maybe even less than. And you start second guessing calling and purpose and destiny. And you don't want that. You want someone that's going to try to push you to being all that God's called you to be.
Go ahead and, like, be honest with that person.
Yeah.
I think we're a little nervous sometimes, like, to share our dreams with people, but the person you're dating, share that. Be 100% honest. Like, hey, I'm not doing this today, but my biggest dream is blah, 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 blah. And if that person is like, yes, oh my gosh, go for it. Like, that is the person who you know will champion you in life. Words are either bringing death or life. And you want someone who is bringing life and breathing into your dreams and believing in you. Otherwise, like, you might want to question, like, is this a person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with? And if your dreams are very important and your purpose and your calling, you want someone to partner with you in that. We always say we're partners in purpose. Fedrick knew from the beginning what I felt in my heart God was saying. And those things change as life goes on. We were pretty honest.
I'll tell you one other thing, too, that I think is real important before taking these marriage steps. And make sure you have the conversation about what the expectations are that you have for each other as a spouse, as a husband or a wife. Like, as a husband, what do you expect of me? You expecting me to, like, take out the garbage? You expecting me to clean the toilets? Like, you expecting me to, like, kill spiders? Like, what is it? You need to have those conversations early and often, because nothing's worse than unmet expectations, because that just can lead to so much
Bitterness.
derailment, bitterness, and it's going to try to derail your marriage and derail your relationship because I'm expecting one thing, she's not delivering it, and in her mind, she don't even know that I'm expecting these things. So communicate.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah, communicate.
I just lay down the law at the beginning. Yeah. I ain't cooking for you. So, no, I'm just kidding. I love cooking, so Fedrick scored, okay?
I did score.
Well, you cook too.
It's not just about cooking. It's about expectations as in daily life. Like
life.
What it looks like. Like what are you expecting? What are you wanting? What are you in marriage, and you have to constantly do that because people evolve, things change, kids come into the picture, and that changes things, but you need to
and it'll naturally, it's not like you have to have all this, we're not saying we have to have all this figured out before marriage, because it's a daily process. Like you will grow and learn and start morphing into this new life of marriage. But these are just good things to talk about so you're not caught off guard.
Exactly.
In marriage, you're already kind of especially that first year, y'all. If you can have this worked out for your first year of marriage, then the rest just, it just presents itself as you go. But I think the biggest shocking moments are when you first get married. And as we say that, and we've told the story before, we were first dating, I wanted... Our married, I was imagining us to be cozy and cuddling in bed on the weekend, our first Saturday together. I woke up.
This is after you got married.
This is after we got
Saturday
our first Saturday, the first week. I'm like, we are just gonna be sipping vacation. Coffee, and after the honeymoon.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's gonna be so dreamy. Then I woke up at 7:30, and I'm like, what in the world? Where is he?
I was gone.
And he's just gone. No note.
Vamonos.
No nothing. Now, we did not live together before marriage, so we had no idea. And I'm like, what? He just left me. And he had gone to work out and didn't even know. That's
pumping iron.
He was.
Ooh, another one I got. Oh, it just popped up to me. This is one I always do when I get really excited.
We literally have it written down.
We did, and it popped up right here. A very touchy conversation, but what is your past? What is your sexual past? Have you been sexually active? Are you a virgin? I really think that's important. If you guys are looking to become one and go into marriage, I think you guys should discuss that to where you guys are on the same page with that. And there's some people that are virgins that are looking for virgins. There's some people that are virgins that don't care. But you just want to make sure you're having that conversation, because that might be someone's non-negotiable. And then hear y'all talking all this time. You spend all this time getting to know each other, and then at the end, they're like, "Hey, I can't get past this." And that's something you could have that. I don't know, maybe, but you could have that conversation early, before you guys even get too far along in the marriage train.
We had that conversation pretty early on.
We did. We had that early on, and that's because we both had, not unknowingly, we both had a past, and we wanted to air it out and say, we want to do this relationship different than we've done past things. So we had that conversation. It really
set the tone. Set it to a very pure situation.
You can look at that our past video to hear all that story.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, another one. Y'all, we're just going to go there. You just need to be real, okay? Are you attracted to this person? Get real. You could be dating 6 weeks. You could be dating a year. You could be right before you're getting married. Let's be real. Are you physically attracted to this person? This may feel like the most unholy thing I have ever said. It matters. But it matters.
It matters.
Okay? If you are not physically attracted to the face, to the body, to everything about this person, marriage is going to be very hard. That is not the only thing. Obviously, there are more important things, maybe, than that. But the point is, God designed for you to be enthralled with the person's beauty and to love on
and their assets. Their assets.
The point is, just be real. I literally have known people who said, I've probably known 5 people before they got married who said, I am not physically attracted to this person. And guess what? Half of them got divorced. The other had affairs.
Man, I can tell you what, I would not have married you if I was not attracted to you. That's it. Boom.
That's a hard one, because you're like, gosh, they're really sweet, though. They're really kind. They're gonna treat me really well. But here's the thing:
Sounds
sex
unsettling to me.
is very important in your marriage, and you are going to want to get it on. I think
have conversations about where you want to build your family, where you want to live, what that's going to look like, what your day-to-day life's going to look like. Like, are you going to live in this state? Are you going to live in this city? Where you want your, like all that stuff. Where you want to build a home? What type of home? Like your lifestyle. You want to live in an apartment? Like, ask these questions.
Yeah.
And the thing about all these things that we put out, it helps you guys to get to know each other and helps you to have open line of communications where you can be honest with each other and start gaining that trust that you need to help sustain your marriage, because you have to trust your person, you have to be honest with your person, you have to communicate with your person and just be real with them. They should know you inside out better than anybody else. If you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, they should at least know you better than anybody else.
I think people are just really nervous to talk about these things because they think will be the deal breaker.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised that actually most of the time it may not be. But if it is, and that person walks away to something that's really important to you, that wasn't the person for you. That wasn't the person, and you should be glad that you brought up the topic. But if you're ever holding back on discussing something because you're like, they're not going to like this, they're not going to like this, they're not going to want to be with me, then they are not the person.
Exactly.
So go ahead and have every hot topic conversation you can think of, and thank us later.
You'll love that you did it.
You'll love that you did it. Being vulnerable and honest and transparent in any relationship is the foundation and building block for your relationships.
You can't build a marriage on lies.
You can't build a marriage on lies. And so be honest with yourself. Know what you desire. Believe that God has put the desires in your heart, so be true to those. Like, don't waver just so you can be married. Believe me, you are very awesome right now.
You are.
So where you are at. So trust God's timing. Trust that He knows who you will be amazingly with. And the last one, we have one more as we stood up.
Yes.
Is, do you want to get married?
Do you even want
do you
to get
even
married?
Want to get married in your life? Just ask that at the beginning, and it's going to save you a lot of heartache.
It will, as I'm bending down.
As you're bending down.
Because marriage is something you got to commit to, and you got to be really committed to it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good. Marriage is something you got to commit to, and you got to be really committed to it.
Exactly.
And put that on a t-shirt.
Put that on a t-shirt. You got to say, hey, you want to get married in your life, right? Okay, I'm not wasting time.
And that's because you got to really know you want to get married, because you got to really fight for it too. You got to fight to keep your marriage, because every day the enemy's going to be trying to come in there to try to upset your marriage. So you want to fight for that. And
you gotta want somebody that believes in the marriage.
Yeah. And you ain't going to fight for something you don't want. So
you ain't going to fight for something you're not in a covenant relationship with.
Thanks for watching this video.
Thank you so much for watching this.
Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe, share this video with your friends that trying to get married and you know they ain't had no hot topics yet.
And they need to have those conversations.
Have the conversations. Okay. Have them again.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.